Hey everyone, Jake here for American Trucks, and in this video we're taking a look at the Mammoth Trail Series rear shocks for 0 to 2 inch lift, fitting 2007 to 2018 Silverado and Sierra 1500s. If you're hitting the trail with your Silverado or Sierra, especially if you're planning to lift it, the Mammoth Trail Series shocks that we've got here will get you additional performance and stability that you're looking for without forcing you to spend a small fortune, and they'll pair well with a stock height or lifted application. When it comes to shock absorbers, there's all kinds of discourse over what is best. And of course, much of that is subjective. But these Mammoth Trail Series monotubes that we have here are a pretty sweet setup. Being monotubes means that they are going to be a little bit stiffer than your stock shock absorbers, which will lead to some improvement in handling and dynamics, especially important if your truck is lifted. Now, speaking of, it is worth mentioning, of course, as the name implies, that these are going to work on your truck either at stock ride height or anywhere up to a 2-inch lift. Now, they aren't going to provide you any additional height on their own, but they will accommodate that extra height should you have a lift kit already installed, or if you plan to install one later on down the line. Now, back to that monotube setup. These are oil and gas filled. They have a larger capacity than stock shock absorbers too, as you might be able to tell from the huge bodies. Now, that makes for better rebound and damping, which again makes for more control for you out on the street or trail. Given their design and the gas and oil filling, they're going to have much better heat dissipation than stock, and they're much more resistant to cavitation or aeration, or the formation of little bubbles inside. So they're going to perform well even in more intense off-road situations like a washboard type of road. Now, it is worth noting here that these are a pair of rear shocks only, but they're going to pair well with a spacer lift or leveling kit. You can mix and match them as you see fit for a complete setup should you want to go that route. Being a monotube shock, these are going to feature a large steel outer housing with the black powder coat, the nice Mammoth logo on there too. That powder coat, of course, is going to help protect against rust and corrosion, and they just look pretty cool. Hopefully you get a peek of them inside of the truck. Now, having that black powder coat over top means that they're going to be pretty resistant to rust and corrosion, and they're going to look nice inside of your wheel well. Moving inside, you're going to find a chromed hardened piston rod that's nice and thick with Freudenberg NOK seals and premium ENEOS oil. So these are a really solid setup. You can even get new bushings top and bottom. These are really quite a nice shock absorber, but they actually don't cost what you might expect. Pricing for this set, as you see them here, comes in at about $175, and that puts them toward the more affordable end of the price spectrum, especially when it comes to monotube shocks. They're a really affordable upgrade, but you still get all the benefits of a monotube without having to pay the big name prices. So in my book, I'd count them as a win. Installation is going to get a 2 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and it should only take you about 2 hours to complete the job. These are going to be a straight up swap for your stock rear shock absorbers, so they will bolt right into place with no modifications needed. You are of course going to have to support the rear axle. It's going to take a little bit of fiddling to get them in, but again, they won't require any modifications. So enough of me talking about it, let's head on out to the shop and we'll walk you through the process.
Tools required for this install include an impact gun, a pry bar, a 21mm wrench, an extension, and a 21mm swivel socket.
What's up guys? Today we're installing a rear shock on our Silverado, so let's get started. So the first thing we're gonna do is get a pole jack on our axle to support the weight, and then we're gonna take a 21mm wrench and a 21mm socket to remove our bottom bolt. And now if needed, you can raise or lower the pole jack to line up the bolt hole to get that bolt out easier. And now we can go up to our upper shock mount and take that same 21mm socket to remove our top bolt. And then you can do that same thing on the other side. So now we can install our new shock. So we're gonna get this into our upper mount first. And we're just gonna get the bolt started, a few threads, and then just leave it hand tight while we do our bottom mount. Next, we can get our lower mount into place. So all I'm gonna do is take a pry bar and put it in our mount, and then start compressing our shock and walking it into place. Until we can get that bolt in. And I'll thread the nut on the other side. And we'll take our 21mm socket and wrench to tighten that down. And now we can go back up top and fully tighten down our top bolt with that same 21mm socket. And then you can repeat that same process on the other side.
That's going to wrap it up here for our review and install of the Mammoth Trail Series rear shocks for 0 to 2 inch lifts, fitting 2007 to 2018 Silverado and Sierra 1500s. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, for all things Silverado and Sierra, be sure to keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.